not trying to stereotype here, but do you feel like the white guys you've dated were a little bit on a faster track to settle down versus the Asian guys?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
Really?
really?
For sure. I mean, like, I just feel like I was love bombed by white men. And so maybe that's why I love them so much. Like, I enter into this relationship and they're like, you're just so beautiful. Like, I want to do this and that with you. Whereas, like, the one Asian guy I dated took things very slowly, which I think I also, like, I really appreciated that because it helped us get to know each other. Whereas I feel like the white men that I've dated are just, like, rushing into something. And then I'm like, okay, I guess. And then, like, when I finally invest myself, they're like, whatever. So I think that's just why it just maybe hasn't worked out in that respect. And, like, I think I would like for in the future just to find someone that would, like, slowly progress into a relationship that, like, the Asian men have.
Interesting. Do you agree with that as well, Viv? That, like, I guess, like, white men are faster? Because that's the first time I ever heard that.
Same.
So, like, do you think that is true as well?
In my experience, I think it just goes back to them being more open with their family versus I feel in an Asian household, it's a little bit more intimidating to be like, hey, mom, like I'm seeing somebody. My mom be like, who? What about your school? Or what about your job? And then, so it's just little things like that. I mean, they mean well. They're just looking out.
Are you had a question earlier, right?
Wait, I have a question. Haven't you dated a Caucasian female before? Or do you think it's the same with the females as is with males, where they're down to settle down faster? Or is it just a Caucasian male kind of thing?
Trying to be careful here.
Be careful.
I haven't seriously dated a white girl, but the white girls and white boys that I know have definitely settled down faster.
I thought you were about to say white girls and white boys. I was like, what?
White girls and white boys that I've dated. I mean, like from high school for sure. Like all the white friends that I had in high school, they started popping out kids mid-20s, man.
That's true.
That's just my experience, but that's what I know.
I have a question. Why do you guys think that is? Like now because that's the first time I heard that, and now I'm thinking I'm cataloging every single white friend that I know from college and high school, and a lot of them are married with kids. And I know barely any of my Asian friends that are married, or a couple who are married but with kids. But everyone who's married is older, and none of them have kids yet, other than like the ones that we all know. It's like one or two people.
That's right. If you think about all the white people in our friend group, they're all like hubbied up also.
Well, also, like, think about this, and I don't know if we can, like, keep this in or not, but, like, think about Marla and Dustin. Like, they dated for 10 years before they got married. Look at all of their married friends. They're all white.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why do you think white people get settled down so much faster than the Asian people?
I don't know. It's maybe their family values as well. Like, it's so different.
I have a hypothesis. All right, I don't know if this is true or not. I'm just gonna present this to you guys, and you guys tell me if I might be wrong. I think that that for white people, like dating in in grade school, so middle school, high school, is a lot more generally accepted. So they have the freedom to basically pursue people, and basically, because I know that for me growing up and a lot of white people around me, they was always like in like 5th or 6th grade, they was like, in my neighborhood, there's a couple white people hung out with. They was saying that like, oh yeah, I'm going to my girlfriend's place, and then their mom would drop them off. Yeah. Or they'd be like, oh, I'm meeting my girlfriend at the movie theaters. Because back then, dating was you go to the movie theater or you go to the mall. I don't know if it's still like that, but when you're in grade school, you go to the movie theater or you go to the mall. And so like, I remember a lot of times people would meet up at the mall and the parents would drop them off, and they were open about it and would say, hey, I'm meeting my girlfriend, I'm meeting my boyfriend, and they go to the mall, and the parents are aware of it. Whereas from my observation, when it comes to Asian parents, oh no, you don't date. Like you don't tell your mom or dad or anything about anybody you're like involved with, because their thing is like you got to wait till college or don't do that. That's a no. Yeah, you know that's my hypothesis. So I think that what you guys are saying, that the pressure or like they want to move slower, from what I can gather, they probably like white people are more open about it. They probably move at a faster pace because they've been in the game for longer.
They started sooner.
They started sooner.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And there's less pressure, so they don't feel that need to like go slow. Whereas like for parents, think about it. One of the I think this is like generally for most Asian people, one of like the biggest things that like we are afraid of is to disappoint our parents. Like one of you guys said that earlier, right? And I think that for us, even when that comes to dating, especially like when it comes to marriage, like you grow up hiding that from your parents all through grade school. And then finally when you go to college and you experience that first love and everything, right? You're like, oh, I don't know if my parents are gonna accept this person or not. And so you generally move slower and slower and slower. And because a lot of Asian people start dating in college, like their first serious relationships and everything, I think that it's their first exposure to love. And so like it may be like, I say hypothetically me, like it was my first relationship was in college, right? I was still learning because I had never been in a relationship before. And so like I messed up. There were some good things, there were some bad things, but because I was got in the game so many more years later, I messed up to the point where I guess it kind of stumped me where I was more cautious moving forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Basically saying like you get your experience later, so you do everything later.
Exactly.
Caucasian people, they're free for all early. So they're like, oh, I'm kind of burnt out. I'm ready to settle down at like very early age.
Correct. That's just my hypothesis. What thoughts, guys?
Fair point.
I
think
think it's about more independence, right?
Yeah.
They have independence a lot sooner than we do. Most households at 18, you're cut off.
True.
So they're exposed to the real world a lot sooner than we are. And let's be real, a lot of Asian people are later bloomers. So we just are, whoa, this is the real world?
Yeah.
Let me drag this out a little bit.
Yeah.
I was
that's true.
not allowed to play outside at all with the kids riding their bikes and stuff outside. I was probably not allowed
Wait,
until
really?
I went to college. My friends would knock on the door and be like, why can't you come outside? And my mom would just be like mugging behind me and I'd be like, I have homework. And then just slowly close the door.
Oh man.
Wait, can you ride
They
a
mean
bike?
well. I think growing up, my mom was really strict. And it goes to two things, freedom and values, because our parents came over here, they sacrificed a lot, so they uphold us to a certain value. Like their goal is for us to get an education and have a successful career. That's the main goal first, and then fall in love second. Because the one thing my mom has always reminded me is not to fall in love, because what if you do and then you kind of get sidetracked in your goals. And sometimes if you're lucky, like the person that you're with, you can end up successful, but then the latter can also happen as well.